General Cable is a company committed to safety and the environment. With the most modern and innovative R&D installations, no expense is spared in resources or effort in the analytical study of all determining factors and requirements to be met by electrical cable. As a result of this development work, General Cable is making available on the market a series of high safety and extra high safety cables, Excellent and Segurfoc, exceeding the most demanding regulations. These cables do not propagate fire, and their minimal fume emissions do not reduce visibility or produce any asphyxia. This is due to the absence of any toxic or corrosive gases in their composition. The tests that follow demonstrate the high safety levels General Cable offers in its products. The fume opacity tests, as per standard EN 50268, are conducted in a 27 cubic meter hermetic chamber. The degree of opacity of the vapors given off will be measured using an emission source and a photoelectric cell at the opposite end, which converts the level of transparency of the medium into a graph. The samples for testing are grouped together and laid horizontally on a support over a tray containing a combustible mixture. We ignite the mixture, which acts by burning the cables for 40 minutes, and during this time we measure the opacity generated by the fumes emitted. After obtaining the results for a PVC cable, we then repeat the test with one of our high-safety zero halogens cables. It emits considerably less fume, and the resulting graph after the 40-minute test highlights the differences between our high-security cables and those of PVC. Non-fire propagating cables are those which, when subjected to the action of a flame with certain characteristics, do not assist the flame to spread, so that it extinguishes itself before reaching a preset distance from the point of ignition. In accordance with standard EN 50265, the flame retardant tests are carried out in a standardized chamber 1200 millimeters high, 300 millimeters wide, and 450 millimeters deep, which is open at the front and closed at the top and bottom. The cable sample to be tested is 60 centimeters long and is positioned vertically in the chamber. The standardized burner generates a flame which forms a 45-degree angle with the center line of the sample, and the application time depends on the diameter of the cable, but is at least 1 minute. On completion of the test, we measure the distance between the top of the area affected by the flame and the upper support, establishing that it is not less than 50 millimeters and that we do not exceed 540 millimeters between said support and the bottom of the affected area. In accordance with standard EN 50266, the non-fire propagation tests are carried out inside a sealed chamber 4 meters high, 2 meters wide, and 2 meters deep. These tests assess the spread of the flames on an array of 3.5 meter cables arranged vertically on a ladder. The standard specifies that a current of forced air should be maintained inside the chamber at 300 cubic meters per hour during the test. The flame is generated by standardized burners and is applied for 20 or 40 minutes, depending on which section of the standard is to be observed. On completion of the test, the time it takes for the cables to extinguish by themselves is recorded, and the affected area measured. This must be less than 2.5 meters from the point at which the fire was applied. In accordance with standard EN 50200, we attempt in the fire resistance test to simulate the conditions to which a safety cable is subject when there is a fire. The cable must be serviceable while it is burning and being hit by falling rubble for 90 minutes. The test is carried out in a room measuring approximately 2 by 3 meters, and the cable to be tested is mounted on a non-combustible panel. The system is equipped with a circuit for checking the continuity of the cable and a control panel which shows us the time elapsed. After connecting the cable's leads, we apply the fire from a burner to the cable, starting the countdown, and activate a motorized metal bar which strikes the system every 5 minutes. We apply a test voltage of 1 kilovolt and check that the continuity of the circuit is maintained while the cable is burning and being struck. After 90 minutes, the cable is still serviceable, with no crossing or breaks in the leads, and it still carries the 1 kilovolt voltage with no fall-off. The excellent results of these tests are factors of vital importance for the rapid intervention of the fire prevention and evacuation services. General Cable, committed to the safety of people and equipment in electrical installations, is aware that immediate evacuation depends on the quality of its high-security cables.